Hey everyone, I'm Bill Miller, CEO of the American Gaming Association, and welcome to Cards on the Table. Today I'm joined with Anna Sainsbury, the chairman and founder of GeoComply, a global leader in geolocation compliance technology. Anna has taken up the challenge of developing and delivering a reliable geolocation solution for the US market, which we will dive into today. Anna, first of all, thanks so much for being with us. Let's go back to March of this year. It seems like uh, one of those dynamics where everybody knew where they were when COVID hit. And so for you all as a company and a business, tell us a little bit about, what happened with GeoComply and how you guys as a company, reacted, in mid-March.
First, thanks for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity and to reflect a little bit about this extremely unique year that we've had. Actually, when I started getting concerned about COVID, we were together in California at an AGA
Yeah.
event, and I think that's where I started getting the feeling that we were going to need to make some big policy changes, and it was going to have an impact on how we were going to be operating and what were we going to be doing over the next coming months. Definitely in those early days, there was a lot of anxiety and uncertainty, but we were really fortunate because we have international offices. We actually had streamlined communications for remote working. Our teams were used to communicating, not sitting in the same meeting rooms and not in the same office. So we were really fortunate for that. We really just needed to focus on well-being and how we could ensure that we were creating some work-life balance as our team started working from home, and those lines between being a homeschool teacher and a nanny and still having a full-time job and learning all about how COVID spread and what the risks were. So there was a lot going on, but actually the transition for our team was actually quite seamless. We were really fortunate.
If I were to characterize where I sit today in Washington, D.C., it's everyone's really excited about the prospect of vaccine and the effectiveness of the efficacy of these vaccines. And yet we're moving into winter, right? And there's, increased lockdowns and those sorts of things. What are the themes or trends that you've seen, with dealing with multitude of clients, during this time of how they've responded and what kind of observations do you have around your clients that are really all over the country?
Across the country and with our clients, we've been trying to interact with them in different ways. So sending them care packages, sending them interesting brochures about the services and what we're trying to do to get ready, especially for football season, and engaging in different ways so that we can still maintain that contact that is so important for us to ensure that our products are meeting the ongoing and ever-changing needs of our clients as we expand into many different states with all sorts of different interpretations on what they want online casino, poker, or sports betting to be.
Interestingly, during Responsible Gaming Education Week, you all launched a pretty innovative tool for self-exclusion. Tell us a little bit about PlayPause and kind of your response to the pandemic and how you are helping to, maintain what we think is so critical, and that is responsibility as we're advancing and modernizing gaming.
So thank you for that. Play pause is something that means a lot to me, a lot to the people on our team, and I know a lot to many people that are in and outside of our industry. And um, I would say that my background, because I've had the opportunity to sit at so many legislative hearings when we're looking at new bills and new states, and the panel that we usually sit on covers knowing your customer, agent identity, geolocation, and responsible gaming. And I think we're seeing so much innovation in games, in platforms, in payments. We're constantly innovating in geolocation, but there has been limited innovation in responsible gaming. And what we know as a geolocation company is that players are playing across multiple brands and multiple states. And so when we look at how can we help a player if they're feeling like they need a little bit of support, then how can we help them where they're at, how they're playing, and support them with tools that are going to meet them and exceed expectations. So really we kind of look at if you are in one jurisdiction and have an issue and sign up with that state responsible gaming program or self-exclusion tool, it's not really going to meet the needs if you're constantly crossing the border and your general gaming patterns were across two states. So what we're looking to do is to create a platform where we can de-identify these users. So create unique identifiers for a user that wants to sign up to a self-exclusion tool, and then share that across multiple states and multiple operators. And when we say share, we mean not just sports betting, not just casino and poker, but lottery, ADW, tribal gaming. We want to make sure that those protections can go as far as they can, and that players get those tools as they need them.
As you know, the responsibility, it's core to our ability to operate in this industry. It's part of our social license to operate, and I think that you take that very seriously. And thank you for doing that.
Oh, my pleasure.
Tell me a little bit about what do you see the road to recovery look like? If you were to gaze in your crystal ball and look at 2021, and certainly I think almost all of us will look back on 2020 and say mostly good riddance. But I think 2021 could be exciting, but I'd love to hear what you think.
I think really being aware and coming out of this in a way that's really respectful of people's new boundaries, so that they can kind of learn the behaviors that they want to take with them. We've all learned a lot. So, but the reality is, I also feel that offices do need to open. I think for mental health, it's important to interact with your colleagues and your clients, and of course your friends and family. And I think that for all the young people, people that are just entering the workforce, the guidance that they can receive from an experienced person working on their team is so important. And, as a senior person, you could say, I can work from home, it's no problem.
Yeah.
But it's not really about you. If you're at the top of your career, that can be really great. But other people on the team need to learn what you know so that the company can expand, your career can actually expand as well, and your team can grow around you. So I think that we are going to need to find some practical ways that the office can open in a really respectful and cautious way, and not force anyone to come in before they're ready, but definitely create the opportunity where that's going to be a possibility at some point, hopefully in 2021, when we know it's safe.
Well, I think that 2021 will certainly be a year that we look forward to. We look forward to your continued success. Thank you so much for being with us on Cards on the Table, and all the best to you and to GeoComply.
Thank you.